Hello, good morning, afternoon, or whenever you're watching this. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day and busy week to take a few moments to commune with your own spirit and commune with God. I encourage you to get a cup of your favorite beverage, your journal, and something to write with so you have everything that you need right here with you. And we're going to start by getting fully present with ourselves and coming into this moment in time and space. And so I invite you to close your eyes or lower them. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths together. And we're going to start from empty. Breathing in, letting it go. And again. And one last time. And allowing your breath to return to its own natural rhythm. I invite you to notice anywhere in your body where you might be holding some tension. There's been a lot of interesting writing prompts over the last week. And just invite you to just relax all parts of yourself, your belly, your shoulders, your face, your forehead, your legs, your elbows, your big toe, your thumbs. And take a few moments to notice your inner body as well, all your organs, circulatory system, heart, brain synapses, DNA, blood flowing, all those pieces that we have that happen within us that we are not aware of in any given moment. They just happen. And the time we become aware of them is when something hurts or our breathing is labored or any number of other things. So I encourage you just to breathe and just notice and be present with all of it. And as we've done the last couple of weeks, I invite you to just go to your safe place. Go to a place where you maybe are surrounded by nature. Maybe it's your favorite room in your house. Maybe it's a favorite place in a tree house that you created in your mind's eye. Wherever that place is, go there now. This is your special sanctuary, your special place. And in this place, you are completely and totally safe. Nothing can harm you. It is the safe place to explore your spiritual journey and explore where you're at. Notice what's around you. Engage all of your senses. What do you see? Is there water? Are there trees? What color is the sky? Is the sun out? What do you hear? What smells or tastes might there be? And what do you feel? What sensations are there? Do you feel the wind on your skin? Is there warmth? Are you chilly? Just notice. And find that place where you can just sit and be. What a beautiful day it is today, and here you are sitting in this beautiful place. Let's reflect on that story that many of us know, and some of us might not know, and that's okay. The story of Jesus. After Jesus was baptized, he went into the wilderness for 40 days, 40 nights. The number 40 is used often in the Bible to mean a time of change or transition or a new beginning. Often it's a period of trial or testing. And it is said that Jesus went in the wilderness to fast and that he was tempted there by the devil. I have found it interesting that the devil spelled backwards is lived, as is evil spelled backwards is live. And that for me, those things that get in the way of me having the full life that God would have for me is the devil, is evil in my life, are those things that would separate me from God. We're not told exactly what form the devil took with Jesus, but it was clear that the devil was trying to separate Jesus from his call to ministry. So I'd like you to reflect on your life and just notice the first thing that comes to you when you think of what times in my life have I been in a wilderness time or a time of testing, a time of temptation. Maybe particularly after you got some aha moment or some call from God to do something. What showed up in your life? For lack of a better term, what devils showed up? How did you handle it? And if it's easier for you, reflect on those things that separate you from God, those things that keep you from living the life God would have for you, the things that get in the way. Maybe get in the way of you taking time for meditation and prayer. Maybe the things that get in the way of you taking a walk in nature to commune with God. The things that get in the way from you showing up, volunteering in ways that would help the hungry and the homeless, or getting involved in a political issue that you feel that God has laid on your heart to be involved in, that you know that it's yours to do. So I'm going to give you about 5 to 7 minutes to journal about these things in our lives that separate us from God, from God's calling, God's will for our lives, the things that try to keep us small, that try to keep us from really stepping into all that God would have for us. You've got just about another minute to go. So go ahead and finish up your thought. And go ahead and close your eyes. And just pick one of those things that you wrote about. Just one thing that's separating you from God's calling for your life. And focus on that one thing. How does it serve you? How does it serve you? And be honest with yourself. For myself, I know I've played small sometimes, or I haven't. I've let something someone said, or I've let circumstances, like I have a family to feed, keep me from doing those things God was asking me to do because it felt like a risk. And so how did it serve me? It served me by giving me a feeling of safety. I felt safe. So sometimes the way that it serves us may surprise you. So take just a couple minutes with just this one thing and write down how it serves you to allow it to separate you. It's interesting that the music crescendo just at the point where I was feeling myself like these things. How it serves me doesn't feel sometimes comfortable. So now go ahead and just close your eyes. And know that at any point in time you can take any one of the number of things that stand in the way, that are your personal devils, that keep you from living the full, authentic life that God has for you. You can ask that question, how does it serve me, at any time, and write even more deeply about it. I'd like you to consider the role that your ego plays in all of this. Does your ego play a role? Does your ego have anything to do with you separating yourself from God's will for your life in the present and in the past? So our journey is about looking at our entire life. So it's okay to go back to a past instance and look and see where the ego may have played a role, if at all. And I'll give you about 3 to 5 minutes to really think about and be with this idea of what role the ego has played. And take a few minutes to journal about that. Okay. I don't know about you, but I always find it a little disconcerting when I start looking at my ego and really looking at the ways it weaves into my life and derails my relationship with God more often than I would like to admit. So what I would like you to do now is close your eyes. We have done a lot of writing over the last week. If you've been following the prompts and looking at our lives from when we first realized that God existed to how our relationship with God has been shaped through our early childhood years and our teen years and our 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and beyond, depending on where you fit on that spectrum. What I'd like you to do is just reflect on that and look at that and how has these wilderness experiences, times of temptation, times of the devil showing up, in quotes, that part that separates us from God, and the role that the ego plays, how did that affect your relationship with God throughout your life? Did it pull you away? Did it bring you closer? Did it totally sever it for a period of time? Just reflect on that for just a few moments. Remember to continue to breathe. And in our final moments together, I'm going to give you an opportunity to kind of write out and journal about those experiences, seeing if you can find a common thread. Do you have a particular pattern that seems to serve you when your ego pops up, separates you, and has been doing that throughout the course of your life? See if you notice any patterning, see if you notice anything. And maybe all you do is you write about one experience today. Maybe you're easily able to see the common thread. Maybe there is no common thread. It's different each time. So in the last 5 minutes that we have together, I'm going to give you the opportunity to write, and then I will come back and get you and we'll close together. You've got about 1 more minute to finish up your thought. And if you're already complete, just sit and reflect. So if you haven't already, I invite you to put your pen down wherever you're at in your process, knowing that you can pick it up again later and continue journaling and delving into some of these questions, and close your eyes. Breathing deeply. Know that whatever has come up in your past or present that has kept you from the devils that have kept you from your call, what God would have for you, that at any point in time you can set those aside. You can look at what is in it for me, that I allow this to be this way. You can look at the role that the ego has played. And today, in this moment, which is what you have, you can always make a new choice. Recognizing that shame and guilt over choices in the past ultimately don't serve you in the present. That the best we can do is, and the greatest gift we can give ourselves is notice in the moment. Notice as quickly as we can what is separating us and make a different choice in that moment without guilt, without shame. Knowing that we are human beings here with a relationship with God, that our nature is spiritual, we yearn for a connection with God, and are just doing our best as human beings on the planet. And in each and every moment, we can make a choice that turns us towards God as soon as we notice what has separated us, even if that's our ego. Take another big breath. Let it out. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and your toes and come back to this present moment in time. Thank you so much for joining me as we continue to explore different threads that have made up our spiritual walk and our journey, and continue to unpack pieces of it so that we can live the life, the authentic life that God has for us. Have an absolutely blessed week.